Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Hank Monk. I am a stage driver for the Wells and Fargo. I started driving a stage when I was about 13 years old back in upstate New York. And I came out to California during the gold rush. And I drive a stage now between Genoa, Nevada and Placerville, California. Well, driving a stage, you have some rather interesting experiences. And you meet some rather interesting people. And I would like to tell you a story of one of my experiences, if I may borrow a few moments of your time. It was outside of Old Virginia City, and I was coming across a flat, getting ready to go up the grade. Well, before you go up the grade, you gotta let your horses rest for a minute. And I was letting the horses take a breath. And as I'm gazing around, I look up the grade, and in the distance I see some movement. And I'm thinking, well, what is that? Is that a bear? Is that a mountain lion, a cougar? I want to know. So I take out my glass, and I look up, and I see there's a man up there. And he appears to be hiding behind a tree. And every once in a while, he'll pop his head out and look around and pop back in again. And I thought, I bet you that man is a road agent or a stage robber. He's waiting to waylay my stage and rob me and my passengers. And I thought, well, what can I do? I cast about in my mind a minute. I came up with an idea. Under my seat, I carry a bottle of medicinal whiskey. And I took that whiskey and I poured it about my head, thinking that if he thought I was drunk, he would leave me alone and just go after the passengers. Now, before you think I'm a bad stage driver, let me finish my tale. I did that. I poured my whiskey about my head and I let the horses go. And sure enough, we rolled up that hill, and there he was. He stepped right out and told my passengers to disembark, and he began to rob them. Well, he thought I was drunk and no threat. So while he had his back to me, I just reached under my seat and pulled out a piece of lead pipe and just knocked him right on the head, just as cold as that rock there on the ground. Now, those passengers were grateful for me for saving their gold and their jewels. And I was thankful that they were thankful. But I told them, I said, folks, I'm grateful, but I used my last 2 drops of whiskey to save your jewels. And you know what? Those people were great because they gave me 2 bottles of whiskey to replace my 2 drops. And that is the story of Hank Monk and the stagecoach robber. Have a good evening.